So I will start in just a second when it looks like everything is running. Almost ready to start. And I'm running on YouTube. Almost running on Twitch, I think. So welcome to everybody who's looking. Not sure I have anyone yet, but hopefully. Okay, today I have my camera up in a new spot, so I'm not sure it's better or not, but I don't need to move it when I go back and forth to the monitor. And let's take a look at actually I can show you the last couple of cartoons here. This one is the one that I drew in live stream yesterday, and if you take a look at Twitch, you can look at the archives of this and share another afternoon with me drawing it again. Excuse my hay fever. Goodness. I need a sneeze switch. And there's another one here, which ran in USA today. That's blocked by the back of my head. Here you go. This is actually one that I drew 8 years ago. And it just seemed to be good for today, so I put it up as a repost, and it's in USA today, so that's fun. So today, please, today I'm drawing another Trump and Cruz cartoon, so you see my scrap there. Please chat, let me know what's going on with you guys. Join me through the afternoon, and thank you for coming. Okay. Today, it will be Cruz. Cruz is going to be naked, and he's going to have a Canadian flag maple leaf over his private parts, and Trump is going to be standing next to him, pointing at his maple leaf private parts. So, let's get to it. Now, in any editorial cartoon, you want to have it read from left to right, and the gag has to be at the end. So, read from left to right. Made my head a little bit smaller down there, didn't I? That's better. Off to the edge, a little smaller. Chopping myself off a bit. Let me just adjust. Maybe that's better. Okay. I am adjusted. So, we'll have Cruz here, Trump here. Cruz here. Trump will be pointing at Cruz's private parts. Throwing his hand on his shoulder. Maybe on his hip. Maybe I do have to think about that. I do figure this stuff out as I go along. It's not all planned in advance. So, Cruz. I don't have any naked pictures of Cruz. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of guessing here. Nice to see a few people join in. Please leave a comment. Let me know who you are. All right. Getting a phone call, but cannot answer because I am live streaming. So, what do you suppose Cruz looks like naked? I am not quite sure. This is my photo scrap of Cruz that I'm looking at now. Just so you know what I'm looking at. Okay, what do I want to do with Cruz? He's not overweight. He looks like a normal guy. He has, actually his face is kind of fun and expressive. I haven't gotten used to drawing either Cruz or Trump. Haven't quite decided what to do, just draw the parts that you know how to draw. So I'm still thinking. And please do leave me some comments. I think Cruz could be a little bit farther away here. Let's put him over here. And my apologies again today for my hay fever. Excuse me. Do need a sneeze button. Phone keeps ringing. My apologies, folks. So let's see, his hip goes up this way with his straight leg. I'm still figuring out. That's why so many lines. I just haven't thought it through. Okay, Cruz. Do you think he's a hairy guy? Often the male pattern baldness goes with lots of body hair. That contrapposto stance didn't quite work for Donald Trump. Contrapposto? Oh, hello, Merlene Makeup. Nice to see you here. Sangoku. Alrighty. So when a character has his weight on one leg, which is how we typically stand when relaxed, you call that contrapposto. And I try to do that where I can. Sometimes it doesn't look right. Didn't look quite right on Donald Trump there. So to help me keep constantly talking, you need to give me some comments, folks. And those of you on Twitch, please follow me. I need to gather some followers. I have yet to prove that the live streaming is a viable thing to do for editorial cartoonists. I don't think anyone else is doing this. Any other editorial cartoonists. So I am the proof of concept here. Breaking through my crummy paper. A few people are joining in. Okay. What does Cruz look like without his clothes on? I have to figure that one out. Move I can have my microphone pretty close to my mouth here with the camera in the new position. See if that sounds any better. That's microphone closer to my mouth. You're seeing me from above today. I still have my nice glass of Flint, Michigan water. So you think Cruz is endomorph or ectomorph? I'm going to have to decide for him. Cartoonists do think about those things. Here will be his Canadian maple leaf. I may move them a little bit farther apart when I do the finish. I haven't quite decided. How's my lighting here? Is this better? Maybe that is better. I think it is. Alrighty. My face wash is out white. I'm gonna get all of these details finalized when I'm finally better at all this. Well, that looks pretty sucky. Let's start that over. Go a little bit cartoonier, I think, because the idea of Ted Cruz naked is really pretty darn jarring. And if I go a little bit too much in the real direction, I think it might just be so disturbing that people aren't going to want to look. They will turn away. So let's give him a little, let's move him a little farther to the right. Give him his head over here. think of his skeletal mass. The hips are going to want to pop up a little bit that way. Shoulder, shoulder, arms at his side, and arms go halfway down the thighs. So this will be the Canadian maple leaf. Should it be a little maple leaf or a big maple leaf? The stem on the maple leaf is provocative in this perspective, isn't it? Folks are quite silent. Boy, phone just keeps ringing. Oof, breaking through the paper. I'm going to have to start using better paper. Using this cheap paper is not really a cost saving when I'm always fighting with tearing it up. Okay, let's do a little Ted Cruz face. He does have a squared off forehead. He has so much neck. I love these eyebrows that go off the side of his head. Wonderful nose. Great pouty little puppy dog eyes. Eyebrows are not that close. The nose is extra long. It's fun that it's extra long. Let's move it down a little more. Yeah, he has a great short upper lip. So any of you folks that are calling me on the phone, you're just going to have to chat if you want to talk to me. Because the phone's not working for me today. He's looking a little Ted Cruz-y. I like this little bit of male pattern baldness he's got here. Yes, I do make this stuff up every time, and I do need to look at the photo scrap to figure it out, because I have not committed these guys to memory. I haven't drawn them that much. He's a little bit jowly, isn't he? He's got these things coming out on the sides here. Wouldn't be a bad character to draw for 4 years or 8 years. But that would be terrible, wouldn't it? Okay, his ears are kind of like that, aren't they? And big ol' neck. I'm not sure I want such a big old neck from the front. So nobody on Twitch has anything to say today. Is that right? Nobody saying anything on Twitch? You guys are quiet. I'm going to give him a little bit of paunch. I'm not going to assume that these guys are in good shape. Let me see if I've turned on my Cagle.com buttons. My apology. On. That makes the window live on Cagle.com, which I guess I forgot to do. Alright, I'm back. So you folks just watch silently, don't you? I'm trying to get better at the constant talking. Not a natural thing to do while you draw. I don't think I like those hands. You think he has a little chest hair? I'll bet he does. Hello, Tisbeast 111. Nice to see you here. I'm also guessing at the skinny legs. I'm going to make his hand a little goofier. Well, not that goofy. Tisbeast, please follow me on Twitch. I'm short of followers. Well, follow your own two-square advice, Daryl. How to draw hands, basically 2 squares. Square for palm, square for fingers. Toes. Oh, we lost Twitch. Twitch went dark. sure what's up there. Oh, Twitch is here. Looks like it's working fine. A little more Flint, Michigan water. Well, his fingers should be curving the other direction, shouldn't they? I will bow to convention. I might stretch his legs out a little bit. I'm going to give him some hairy legs. Hairy tops of the feet too. Let's do that. I'm going to drop the Canadian maple leaf in with Photoshop rather than try to draw an exact Canadian maple leaf. Get those hands. Alrighty, Donald Trump. Now I'm going to switch my view on the monitor in front of me to Donald Trump. This is what I'm looking at. Donald Trump. Okay. I made Ted Cruz a little taller. I might make Donald Trump a little taller as well. The Donald. So one thing better about this view from above is that I've got probably better sound with my mouth closer to the microphone. I may want to separate them a little bit more because these two hands are competing with each other. Let's think about that. Note to self. So Twitch people have something to say here. All right, Donald. What do we do with you? His eyebrows kind of box out his eyes. He is squinty. He tends to look more like himself when you have him squinting. Those eyes are too close. His eyes are not close set. Okay, I think I'm going to give him the grin. He has basically two facial expressions that you expect on him. One is the ducky kissy lips, and the other one is the big, broad smile, where his lips flatten out. Wonder if I want to do that. Let's give that a try. See if I like it. He gets big pillars when he does it. Hello, Atomic Widget. Nice to see you here again. So not quite sure if I'm going to like this Donald Trump or not. I'm just getting started here, and you know that I am indecisive. Maybe it's funnier if he's not smiling, huh? I think so. Let's start over on him. I think the smile is just too smarmy for this situation. I'm going to try something. I'll try going back to the ducky lips. Everybody wants him to have ducky lips all the time, you know? Kissy ducky lips. Get the hair down. He often gets a tuft on this side that goes a little bit lower than the rest of it. And it goes up like that. It is deceptively long in front, yet shallow, since his eyes are higher than they should be on a head. When you typically draw a head, you go to the halfway point, and that's where the eyes go. Then halfway down from there, there's the end of the nose. And halfway down from there is the mouth. Directly down from the eyeballs is where the edges of the mouth go. Between pupils and bottom of the nose is where the ears go. And that is your typical head dimension. Where most beginning artists screw up is they will put the eyes up far up here because they consider this forehead area to be not very interesting stuff. So they end up not having enough cranial mass. The head is not big enough because they don't think of their structure or where these things are supposed to go. It goes half, half, half. So half, fourth, eighth, eighth. And that is a head. That's my how to draw heads lesson in 30 seconds. But that doesn't help with a particular head. This funny little twist to his eyeballs that go up. Well, I'm not going to like that, but we'll go with it for a minute. I've got his head too big. And he needs to be funnier. So let's give him another try. He often does this with his eyebrows. No, I think I like that better. He has a minimal flare to his nostrils. Then he has these fairly strong pillars. Let me find a better mouth on him. He will do that kind of a pouty mouth. Not sure if I like that. I'm drawing some other parts and come back to it in a second and see if it's any better. Sometimes they get better when I stop looking at them. You folks are so quiet. Yeah, Trump's head is bigger than Cruz's head here. Bring that down. I might bring all of Cruz up. Let's make a note. Do I want to bring all of Cruz up that much? Perhaps I do. You folks are so silent. I noticed the other cartoonists are developing hair for Trump that really is not much like what his actual hair is like. But it's what they feel like his hair is like. So if we had Trump as president, I think that he would have a interesting cartoon evolution into something that probably doesn't look anything like him. As sometimes happens. Well, I don't think the Obamas look much like Obama. I think Trump's going to need to move down entirely a little bit. Hey, Twitch people. Sorry about the ringing phone. But do leave a comment. And please follow me on Twitch. I appreciate that. Am I going to be able to work with this Trump? By and large, this should be a pretty quick and easy cartoon. Been drawing on it for 40 minutes, but you know, most of my cartoons take most of the day. Alright, I'm going to want Trump to be taller. So I will stretch him out there. I think I'm going to make him just taller in that direction. Feet need to go there. Put the signature here. I'm going to have a little bit of background going on to stretch this out to be standard editorial cartoon whole size. So I think I'm probably going to have a little bit of muck going through there. He does get this pouty expression, but it's not his most common expression. It's kind of unusual, huh? He will do a little flat-mouthed look. Let's try that. That looks a little more like him. I do see this expression happening on him quite a bit, this flat mouth expression. May futz with that in Photoshop as well. Okay, I think I can start doing final art on this. Shouldn't take long. I'm going to color it in when I'm done with this online as well in the live stream. Excuse me, standing up to get my vellum. You folks are so silent. All places where I broke through the paper. Terrible sketching paper, but the terribleness of it keeps me from wanting to draw very well on it, which is something that tends to be a weakness. I want to draw too much. I get too overworked. I need to force myself not to render. Okay, Ted. Let's move the camera down a little bit more. Oh, catching that corner. Alright, I'm going to pop out of the picture a little bit, but and I see that I need to spend a little more time on my camera prep. Ted Cruz is a fun cartoon character. He kind of strikes me a little bit like he's wearing mascara. You know, the nose is kind of funny crooked, and even if I get the crooks wrong, it's kind of funny, because it just emphasizes the funny crooked. So I may go with a little bit wrong. Yes, that wonderful short upper lip so close behind his nose. I haven't quite figured out how to draw him yet, but I enjoy him. That's kind of funny. A little bit screwy, but kind of funny. I think I like it. Don't know if I'm good with this Cruz yet, but he is fun. Does he have? Yeah, he has pretty good deer lobes. That's kind of right. Okay. Folks are so quiet. some underarm hair, a little bit of deltoid modeling. What do you think? Do you think this is what Ted Cruz looks like naked? If only Google would have good Photoshop of everybody naked. That would be very helpful. They do of many celebrities. Let's give him a little bit of collarbone. He can have some freckles there. I have no idea whether he has freckles there. I also don't get good photograph of hands. And people tend not to see much of candidate hands. So even if I did a good hand caricature, nobody would know it, so might as well not bother. You folks watch so quietly. There's a dozen of you watching. Does he have hairy arms? You know, you never see his arms because he's always got long sleeves. No idea of whether he has hairy arms. He looks to me a little bit like a dentist, a hairy-armed dentist. But I swear there's not a hint of ever seeing what his arms look like. I can show you again what I'm looking at here. Flipping through all of these, trying to get some notion of what Ted Cruz looks like naked. It is just it's just impossible. You get some views of his hands, but no sense of how hairy a guy he is. You know? I think I'm just going to have to guess at Ted Cruz's hairiness. We'll give him a little bit of hairiness. Yeah, my face is too low, isn't it? Move it up a little bit. Move this spot over that way. See if that helps. Ooh, I'm not sure it helped. Try this. Sorry, folks. Figuring this out on the fly. Oops. That didn't work. Let's try this. Fiddling too much with the stuff in the studio. Is that better? It's probably better. Okay. Please click on the Twitch logo and join in the chat. If you want to like me on Twitch, you gotta sign up, log into Twitch. So that is what makes it so that you're able to chat. Don't be afraid. Just sign up, log in. I think we only have one person who's logged in, and everybody else is just watching the stream. Let's give him a little bit of thigh shading. Yeah, I hadn't quite thought about how people might be reluctant to sign in to chat. Let's see, how do I look with this light off? Maybe that's better. No, it's not. Well, maybe it's better. A little bit better. A little bit rushed today. Didn't spend my usual long amount of time getting the cameras and things working. Everything seems to want to have things work a little bit differently the next time. I was thinking of doing how to draw toes and how to draw feet as separate videos. We'll see if there's any demand for that. If you guys say, yes, do draw how to draw feet, do a how to draw feet video, then I will. But if you're silent, then I won't. It is kind of every cartoonist's responsibility to draw the candidates naked wherever you have an excuse for it. So this cartoon is just pretty much an excuse to draw Ted Cruz naked. Okay, silent folks, you pleased with Ted? Is he hairy enough? That cartoon they ran in USA Today was pretty darn tame. They like cartoons that nobody's going to object to. I can show you that again. This is the one they ran in USA Today. And it's a cartoon that I drew 8 years ago when Obama was running against McCain. Things don't change much in regard to running between Ohio and New Hampshire. But who's going to object to that? I mean, there's nothing objectionable there, which is really what the editors like, which is, I guess, a little disappointing. You'd like for them to reprint more the ones that are more provocative. Cartoonists want to be provocative. But editors like cute little things, little faces on the states. So that's in today's edition of USA Today. Which I mentioned because everybody can buy that. And I haven't seen it yet. If any of you silent folks have seen it, pipe up and let me know. Alright, where do I want Donald to go? Theo, it's nice to see you here watching my stream. Maybe you could give Brian a call. He's been trying to call me and I haven't been answering the phone. Perhaps he has an emergency that I do need to answer the phone for. I think I like that Ted Cruz. He's kind of funny. I'll move this around and see if I can position Donald a little better. It's better if they're a little farther apart because it's makes the cartoon wider. Wider is good. Donald. He's going to have to move his arm up a bit to be pointing correctly at Ted Cruz's private parts. Alright, that's the head. You know what, let's do the body first. Get that right, put the head on last. So, feet are there. Head is going to need to come up. So Twitch people, please do sign in and follow me. Even if you are afraid to chat, if you want to see me keep doing these live streams, I need to get some sugar. So, please follow me. Well, his arm is down a bit, isn't it? It needs to be pointing right at his junk. Let's bend it out just a bit. Yeah, I think Ted Cruz is funny. The only problem with Ted Cruz being funny is that he's also kind of scary. And scary and funny sometimes mix pretty well. Ah, Free Wapper says, did I miss something? What are you trying to convey by having Trump point at Cruz's genitals? Yes, you did miss something, Wapper. I'm going to have Cruz wear a Canadian maple leaf, like a fig leaf, covering up his private parts. And I'm kind of surprised that I would have guessed that the maple leaf as fig leaf would have been something that all the cartoonists would have drawn. It would have been like a grand Yahtzee. But no, I haven't seen anybody draw it. Maybe it's just too stupid. But I'm going to drop that maple leaf in Photoshop, which is why I'm not drawing it here. Wapper, you knew that it was going to be a Canadian maple leaf there, even though you didn't hear me say it? Frankly, that shouldn't be surprising, because I really thought everybody was going to be drawing him with a maple leaf fig leaf. But I want the maple leaf... oh, not too stupid. Thank you, Wapper. I want it to look like I didn't quite draw it, like it's really just off the flag. So I'm going to pluck it off the flag and stick it there as the graphic. So it should be a little bit jarring in the respect of it's not being... looking like it's from my hand, like the rest of the drawing is. I might even give the Donald... pinstripe suit. So, Wapper, do you think this is what Ted Cruz looks like naked? I like drawing Ted Cruz. I'm not good at it yet, but I like it. He does have some little bit of cheekbone and jowls going on. Let's try a little bit of that. Does that help? Maybe it does. Maybe his eyes need to be poutier still. Pretty close, huh, Wapper? You know, I can't quite tell whether he's got a beer belly or not. He wears very nicely fitting suits that disguise what's underneath. Let's get rid of that eye. I think that eye is not right. Boy, that looks like even more like him now that I got rid of that eye, doesn't it? Well, that's wrong. I'm going to go back and deal with his eye later. Theo writes, do you think the Hillary coin flip controversy is worth a cartoon? You know, I thought about that. That's interesting. And it really does sound crooked, doesn't it? Because you know she's got the powers that be behind her in Iowa, and they're the ones that would be flipping the coin. So every one of, 6 coin flips turning out to be for Hillary is pretty darn suspicious. And we have kind of a history of tainted election officials in Florida. Why not in Iowa? But what I'm afraid that it wasn't quite important enough, and that the story is gonna disappear by the time a cartoon would run. Theo writes, plus Trump's yelling Cruz stole Iowa now, and Ben Carson backed him up on it. How is it that Cruz stole Iowa, Theo? I haven't quite been following that enough as I've been futzing with other things. What's the argument for how Cruz stole Iowa? The coin flip thing is hilarious, because the chances of 6 coin flips all coming up Hillary, I think, are 1.7%. Which is ridiculous. I think 2000 Florida and the Supreme Court was enough to dissuade me from thinking that I have any faith in the honesty of the election officials. Wapper writes, are you planning any good Democratic candidate comics? Comics meaning editorial cartoons? I did one not long ago of Bernie and Hillary. You can watch my live stream on that one. I could do another Bernie and Hillary. Have any good Bernie and Hillary ideas, Wapper? All right. Do I want to give him... I think I do want to give him pinstripes. I'll finish him off first. Get some face going so I can worry about his face like I worry about Cruz's face. I don't think I've come up with a strong Trump. And as I look at the other cartoonists drawing Trump, I don't really like their Trumps either. Wapper writes, but if I think of anything, you'll be the first to know. All right. Very good. Once in a while, like maybe twice a year, somebody sends me a cartoon idea and I like it, and I draw it up with a little thank you in the cartoon to whoever gave me that idea. But frankly, the cartoon ideas most people want are just so terrible. I don't want to have to explain to them why they're terrible. Typically, they involve having no idea of what something would visually look like that they describe in words. Fill the sky with helicopters. Have two armies opposing each other. No thought at all for how you actually draw something. All my years as an illustrator, I'd often run into that on new jobs where the art director never thought of what it would look like, but they decided in words what they wanted to have in the art. And just impossible nonsense. I remember this one was a 2-page magazine illustration job I got. And it was kind of a romance story where the climax of the story was the woman was leaning out her window on the 3rd story of a building in New York and looking 2 blocks down the street where she sees her boyfriend walking away and she yells at him. Well, how the hell do you draw that? 2 blocks down the street, and she's yelling at him down the street, so you're going to have the back of her head looking 2 blocks down the street? Bloody hell. And I tried to explain that to him, and I went so far as to try to do little rough sketches, and no, this is the way it is in the story. He's 2 blocks down the street. She's in the 3rd story apartment window. We can't change any of that. That's in the story. That's what you have to draw. So I turned down the job. And I'm sure whoever did it next did not give them what they wanted either. And, but at least I didn't have to deal with that confrontation when they also didn't like what the next guy did. Whapper. What is it that seems odd? My illustration job story? I got lots of them. I spent the first half of my career as an illustrator. If you're wondering what I do with the pencils, look at my pencils. Isn't this great? I've got a big coffee cup full of pencils. My tech guru, Theo, talked me into prepping before each video by sharpening all the pencils so that I don't sharpen during the video. Do not sharpen your pencil during the video. It's loud and it's nasty. So I do not. I learn my lessons as I go along. So in the old days, I would have CNN, Fox News, MSNBC blaring, flipping from channel to channel, watching all the talking heads. Now I don't hear nearly as much news when I do all the streaming. Silently, chatting to myself constantly, even though 14 people are watching, only 1 is chatting. Hello, Victoria 7. Wapper writes, what was your favorite job you've ever done as an illustrator? You know, I like the character design ones. There was this candy bar called Phi Bar, which had lots of, it was like an oatmeal bar, and it had lots of fiber in it, so they call it Phi Bar. And their character was Beaver. And they put a good deal of money into promoting that. I designed and drew the Beaver. And then there used to be these Mervyn's department stores. And before Target had their dog with the circle around his eye, Mervyn's department store did a dog. I did their dog. And it was up on posters in all the Mervyn's department stores. It was cute. A little dog announced the sales and things. So I enjoyed those. Nice to see you here, Vittoria 7. Yeah, I noticed that character design seems to be a big popular thing on Twitch. Perhaps it's more character design with regard to film and games, but I did a whole lot of characters design back in my advertising days. I may do some more advertising here. Do some illustration jobs in the live stream. Wapper writes, you still do character design? You know, I haven't been doing much illustration work, and I think I'm going to start up again doing some more illustration work. Break up the editorial cartooning a little bit. So yeah, sure, still do character design. We'll do some on these live streams before too long. Oh, Victoria 7, you have recommended me to a friend. That is lovely. Yes, please do recommend me. Victoria, do you live stream on Twitch as well? Oh, I didn't stretch Trump before, did I? I think I may just in Photoshop stretch him up to be equal height with Cruz. I don't actually know. I think maybe Trump is taller than Cruz. I don't know. Check. There, that's better. Victoria 7 writes, yes, but I'm pretty new. Started this month. So, Victoria, what kind of work do you do that you stream? Lettering and calligraphy. Oh. Well, very good. I hear stories about how the lettering artists have suffered in the last 20 years as like the profession is being crushed by PCs. Back in the day, back in the 80s, I used to work with some hot lettering artists back with the Muppets and such. They would do things that people do on the computer now with a French curve. But I am an old bastard. You should admire those guys. I did some, back in my toy vending days, I would hire the lettering artists to do logos for my toy pitches. I hired one guy who did lots of Lots of flowy lettering for romance novels that they would print like in gold leaf. He was great. And I'm forgetting who he was. Trump is 6'3" and Cruz is 5'8". Boy, how do you know that stuff? My goodness. Okay, I'm gonna have to stretch him up in Photoshop, aren't I? I'm not gonna redraw this. I'm just gonna stretch him. Goodness. I can see that because you're seeing them on the. I'm sorry. Wapper gave me a link to Republican candidates' heights were among the most Googled questions during the CNN debate. I can see that. You have no idea how tall they really are. You know, that Trump face is really pretty darn lousy. Needs some rethinking. Go with that. So 18 people watching on Twitch, but only 2 of them talk to me. I think his nose is too long. Maybe the hair will help. Let's give that a try. I think I might go in a different direction. Wapper writes, at least people are watching. Could be worse. Could be only 2 of us watching. Perhaps. You can't quite tell what those 17 people are doing. Do I like him or not? I'm leaning towards not. Excuse me. Sneezing and coughing and yawning. go back to Cruz for a minute and put him back on his old face. See how I like that. Creative Juice writes, "Good day, sir. I see you're drawing these two again. Nice to see you back, Creative Juice." All right, where does his eye look right? Bring Cruz back on the screen. Yeah, they finished 1-2 in Iowa. They should be the ones people are drawing. Everyone wants to talk about Marco Rubio. But I don't think he's as interesting. Oh, yeah, that eye is a little bit better. That's a help. I think he looks like he's got mascara. Creative Juice writes, "Did you finish yesterday's drawing somewhere we can see it?" Yes, go to darylcagle.com, and it's the last post. You can see the finished art. Oh, I'm much more pleased with Ted Cruz now that I have this new eye. Let's have another look at Trump here. Trump's nose is short. I think I have his nose too long. I haven't gotten to drawing him in a more interesting way yet. If I don't get something that I'm happy with, I'm going to have to draw multiple faces and put it in Photoshop, which happens sometimes. Alright, nose a little shorter, eyes are a little bigger. A little closer to the top of his head. Give that pouty mouth back to him. Creative Juice writes, "The Grouch cartoon came out great." Well, thank you, Creative Juice. Actually, that kind of is an improvement on Trump. He doesn't have much of a snuff box. Oh, snuff box is the little indent in the middle under your nose. That's Cruz's snuff box there. You know, I think I might just rethink Trump entirely. Because I'm not getting him looking good. I think he's quite wrong. His hair is fine, I think. But I need to do something more severe with his face to have it fit in this cartoon. Creative Juice writes, should I ask what Donald will eventually be pointing at? He's going to be pointing at a Canadian maple leaf in the fig leaf position on Cruz. And I'm going to put that in Photoshop. So it's going to be a graphic looking maple leaf. So let's take a piece of paper here. Let's try drawing a few Trump heads that are more severe. See if I get something I like happening a little bit more that I haven't quite thought through. Go in a different Trump direction. Oh, Creative Juice, you like that, huh? See, I don't want it to look like I drew the maple leaf. I want it to look like I just picked it up off the flag. So I'm going to actually pick it up off the flag. I should have running text at the bottom that says, yes, I'm going to put a Canadian maple leaf over Trump's private parts. So it makes a little more sense. So, do I like this Trump better? Am I just going back over old ground? He can do this fishy lips thing. Trouty mouth. Trouty mouth. Part of the problem, I think, is that his head is too square on the top of his shoulders. Oh, Creative Juice, you are not a chat killer. This group has not been particularly chatty. There are 22 of them, and just you and Victoria and Wapper are the ones who are talking. No, I'm not happy with Trump. Let's try another one. I may do a whole bunch of these before I get happy with it. I may be here for a while. Sometimes I get stuck. And it just goes on and on. Let's see, I'm coming up on an hour and 41 minutes. I can always simplify them more. he will sometimes do that. He does the eyes at half-mast a lot. That doesn't look like him. One thing you can do when you have trouble with somebody is make it more cartoony and not worry too much about the likeness. One thing lots of cartoonists do is put labels on people, but I'm not going to do that. I will just keep drawing until I feel like I'm happy with it. And it may take me a while. You can see I'm not getting him. Running out of my Flint water. I might want to turn his head a little bit toward Cruz. Look back at us and turn his head. Let's try that. So Rowdy Mouth. You know that show The Affair on Showtime? The girlfriend that he's having an affair with has the most trouty mouth. She could actually pass for a trout. I think of that each time I watch the show. I should do a video just on trouty mouths. Nah, not liking that. Try another one. I think I'm going to take the whole head off of him and start over. His body's fine. Creative Juice writes, did I say Flint water? Got me nervous here myself. Here. My Flint water. I don't think you have to worry about your lead pipes unless you're getting that corrosive water in there that releases the lead. Because I think it naturally gets a coating that protects you from the free-floating lead. Their problem was the removal of that coating with corrosive water. Yeah, this is a perspective that is particularly not Trumpian, that I haven't drawn on Trump before. I think he does need his head to go a little bit to the side to look Trumpy. He has quite a bit of face around his facial features. So big fat face and features smaller on the face. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm going to be fiddling with Trump for a while, I think. Get rid of his hair. Going to move his whole head to pointing to Cruz a little bit. Let's try this again. Let's give him... there, work with that. Turn his head away from Cruz, Wapper suggests. Theo writes, Cruz just coined the term Trumper tantrum. Okay. Trump having a tantrum today? So perhaps if Trump is looking this way, then I get better perspective on his funny hair. And he could be whistling. Whistling is kind of funny. See, it's much easier to... see, I'm getting him better having him turn to the left, and I've realized that's the way I've always drawn him. Straight on, he's not as funny. Samanos, nice to see you here. That face, doll. Right, Samanos. Yeah, I think I'm going to have him looking off to the left here. That was a good idea. Wapper. Sheer lips? No, that didn't work. So is Trump having a Trumper tantrum today? Is something interesting happening that I'm not catching because I'm not watching the TV? I do want to do the ducky lips because the ducky lips just look like him. Ugh. But it's not working in this context. It's funnier if he's looking straight at you, isn't it? Because Cruz is looking straight at you, Trump is looking straight at you. I can't have him look to the left. He's got to look straight at you. I liked the idea of to the left for a minute, but now I gotta go back. So you get to watch me struggle here with what I thought was going to be a quick and easy cartoon. I may want to come back and deal with his collar again to make his new head fit on here. Make his nose shorter. that generally what he wants? Surreal, crazy. What are you guys looking at? Lily Bean. Nice to see you here, Lily Bean. Pleased with my Cruz. Not pleased with my Trump. And people think Trump is easy. I don't think Trump is easy because he's kind of a good-looking guy. And the aspects of him that make him distinctive are kind of pudding face aspects that are not real easy for me to capture. I'm trouty mouth again. No, it's looking crappy. Nice to have you here, Lily Bean 08. Let's try this. Let's try putting the eyes above where they should be on the head. He does have a distinctive chin and a good deal of neck. A lot of the cartoonists don't even bother to get a likeness with Trump. They just draw the hair, and the hair is enough. And I could go that way. I may end up having to. Am I getting him better? Lily Bean, do I want to ruin croissants forever? It's a vine. Writes creative juice. Needs to have his head tilted up in disgust. Catching a little bit of him. It's not right. This nose is kind of short, and I may need to go with the fishy lips just because I need to make it look like him. Fatter face helps? Okay. He does this to his mouth. Yeah, that's better. The nose can be short. All right, let's try this on him. See if that works. A little bit big. I'm gonna need to erase the back just a bit. Picking up the pencil from the back. My nice forgiving vellum. Bigger head's kind of funny. Okay, yeah, that's better. Whapper likes different lips. A great reference image. All right, I'll come take a look. Ah! That is disturbing. Oh, we've got 27 people watching, but most of them are not very talkative. Oh, Creative Juice, you think this is a better looking Trump? A little more of a regal expression. Folks, please do subscribe to me on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. I would appreciate it. Hello, Lane OG. Creative Juice, you like this Trump? I'm not quite sure I'm happy with him, but he's better than he was before. You watch the guy stream Creative Juice. Watch the guy stream using his Cintiq 24 HD. I've got the 22 HD, and I actually also have a 24 HD at my house in Tennessee, and I think the 22 is better. The 24 is just very big and heavy. Alright, I'm going to do some pinstripe suit for a while and see if Trump grows on me. He's better, but I don't know that he's good enough. You think it's awesome, Matt Bandana? It's heavy. It's a very heavy monitor. And this 22 is easy to move around. Pinstripes. Yeah, I think this Donald is looking better. I'll probably stick with this one. Might fiddle with his nose a little bit more. Pinstripes are just because needed more complexity in the drawing. Yesterday the drawing was oh, you like my pinstripes? Yesterday the drawing was too complex. So the pinstripes wouldn't have worked. Let's get rid of this pocket. Yeah, Trump has more attitude in this. It doesn't much look like him, but you know who it is. Yes, Canadian maple leaf goes in the fig leaf position. It's basically an excuse to draw naked Ted Cruz. And I do look for excuses to draw politicians naked or as dogs peeing on things. I like to draw them cross-dressing. It's a little harder to come up with the excuse for the cross-dressing. Don't forget his watch and Fitbit. Oh, he's naked. Actually, the Donald, I don't think he does wear pinstripes. I think he just wears black suits. But pinstripes has such a nice Wall Street connotation to it. That you just gotta go with it. I guess Donald isn't really Wall Street, but he's the rich businessman, which is still pinstripe suit. Also, with the pinstripe suit, I think it probably can get away without doing this cartoon in grayscale. Maybe in the grayscale version, only gray part is going to be the you know it's red Canadian maple leaf. So, 29 people are online. 29 not very chatty people. please, folks, do please follow me on Twitch. Hoping to get more follows. 29 people watching me, but only one person followed during this stream. Yes, Creative Juice, that is unacceptable. I like pinstripe suits. Gives you something to draw. So even a simple cartoon takes a lot of time. They shouldn't be too simple. Cartoonists that brag about drawing too quickly are missing the point. You're supposed to love doing this. I don't do it to get it over with. So, folks, if you are watching and you are not Twitch users, to chat with me, click on Twitch, sign in with Facebook, and join the conversation. You don't have to join Twitch. You just click your Facebook thing, and you are logged in, and you can chat. So don't be afraid just because you're not a regular Twitchster. If you're one of those people that complains about me not answering my emails well enough, here's your chance to chat with me where I can't run away. do need those Twitch follows. Three Wapperites. How many times have I streamed now? If you go to my YouTube page, I think I have all of the streams there. I've probably streamed maybe 8 times. I'm going to stretch Donald so that he is a little bit taller than Ted. Since I just learned that he is a little bit taller than Ted. Not something I had much considered. So I'm still getting better at the stream. I can see that top of my head wants to disappear when I lead in. Let's see if I can fix that. Oops. I think what happens is the light changes through the day. And I need to come back in and adjust this. Yeah, it's a little bit better. I've got too much bright light. Oh, look at that. Still too much bright light on my face. Problem is the window shining on my face. I'm going to close the window. As I get better at these streams, I will develop better procedures. It didn't really make much difference, did it? I develop better procedures. Let's kill that. Nope, that didn't work. I need that. Okay, I don't think I've been improving things. Is that better? No, it's not. Okay, well, let's just get going. 3 Wapperites. Where are you? I'm in Santa Barbara, California. Pacific time here. I live half the time in Santa Barbara, California, half the time in Nashville, Tennessee. I guess I can live with this Donald. He's not quite right, but he's got attitude. I like the attitude. You know who he is because of the hair, which seems to be the attitude the other cartoonists take. Don't care if my drawing looks like him or not. I've got the hair, so you know who he is. It's much easier to draw in profile or 3/4. All right. Now, I was going to do a little bit of crud in the back, kind of around here. I haven't quite decided whether I want to draw that or just put something in Photoshop. It's probably better if I draw it, huh? Okay. Put a little bit of background in. If I don't like it, it's easy to take out. We got one comment from somebody on YouTube. Everybody's watching on Twitch. Hello, Wapper. I'm going to be here for a while because I'm going to color this. So go have dinner. Come back. I'll probably still be here. I'll decide whether I want the background hatching in. I'm kind of thinking it needs a little bit of background hatch to tie it together. Do we like the background hatch? Sure, what the hell. So what's going to happen when I have this done is I'm going to scan it. And I'm going to stop the video for a bit while I scan, and then come back after about 10-15 minutes. So if you want to rejoin me, that would be lovely. You can watch me color this in Photoshop. Okay. So, there are 25 people watching, and that's very nice. Most of you very silent, and I think I am just about done with the line drawing such that I'm going to scan it and come back and color it. So I would appreciate if you would come back and join me again for the coloring. And I think we're there. Donald Trump is going to be stretched up in Photoshop. You can watch me do that as well, because he's not quite the right height. I could take the whole thing and then stretch this whole side of the drawing up. I may go ahead and do that. That would be the easy way to do it. So, okay, folks, I am I'm headed off to take a potty break and then to scan. So I will be back in just about 15 minutes working in Photoshop. Excuse me. The more quiet I am, the more I'm able to hear and see, says Matt Bandana. Do you suggest that I talk too much? You know, I watch these other streams on Twitch, and very often people will just sit silently for a long, long time. And I think, I'd like to hear that guy talk. Being on here kind of feels to me like it comes with a little bit of, you should be talking. Well, I know I talk too much and I don't have enough to say. More comments helps me have more to say. All right, these guys are done. Donald Trump is going to be at least as tall or a little taller than Ted Cruz when I come back and futz with it. And we are going to have color. And I'm going to drop a maple leaf on Ted's junk. So, I must go scan. Thank you folks for joining me. I'm off to scan, and I will be back in 15 minutes, so don't go away. You can leave your window open. I shall return with this all scanned in. And thank you again, folks. See you in 15 minutes.